Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Peng Ying. I am a developer programs engineer for commerce at Google.
Excellent. And you just gave a great presentation about Google in-app payments, of which I took copious notes. I'm interested to know, you showed a lot of code there. It was simple, but I'm sure people make mistakes. What are sort of the common pitfalls you see people making?
Of course, there are a few pitfalls. I think the most common one is with the post-back handler. So what we're working on right now is we're going to provide more sample code.
So what's the post-back handler? Explain what that is.
So the post-back handler occurs when after a customer has placed an order, Google sends a post-back to your server to notify you of this order. And your post-back handler should receive the notification and be able to parse out the order ID. A lot of developers have had issues receiving and parsing the notification. So what we're going to do is we're actually in the process of adding on documentation on this, and we're going to provide some sample code and some client libraries to help developers parse this notification and respond appropriately.
What about on the initial setup and getting people to actually purchase and getting, the information back? You explained one call out to purchase and two other call outs. Explain what's required in the API.
Sure. So the initial call is a call to our JavaScript library. And to that, you provide the JSON web token defining that the items that a customer is purchasing, and your success JavaScript handler and your failure JavaScript handler. So when you call these, you initiate the purchase flow, and then our JavaScript takes over. The purchase flow can either occur in a pop-up or in an iframe, depending on whether or not the customer is logged in. Once the user has confirmed the purchase by logging in and clicking purchase, we then hit your callback we then hit your postback.
And that's where you see the most common mistakes, yes?
Yep, exactly. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess there's a lot of issues. Well, I guess having one server communicate with another server isn't the simplest, and parsing the callback. We definitely should have had some sample code in the beginning, and are working on fixing that right now.
All right, so a lot of people have implemented this, and I'm interested to know what are some of the coolest implementations you've ever seen. Can you describe them?
Sure. I mean, we have a few partners working with us that were launch partners. So if any of you have played Google Plus games, all of the ones that are monetized, the ones that are selling stuff within their game, are now using in-app payments. So you can test the flow out there. And along with that, a few others have implemented. So if you go onto the Chrome Web Store, if you like comic books, check out a web app called Graphicly. So it's graphic.ly. And they have implemented in-app payments to sell comic books. So I think that's pretty cool as well. I'm a big nerd myself. So.
Excellent. And any sort of last piece of advice for someone, I overheard the others. What is the big selling point of Google in-app payments versus the competitors?
The big selling point is that you have 5% fees. I think 5% fees is huge. I mean, compare that with your 30% with the other app stores, compare that with even 7% with PayPal. 5% is clearly the lowest, and it gives most of the money to the developers, right? And that's who you want to empower are the developers.